Sheriff Todd Baxter, employees of the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, employees of the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office, Paul C. Messer, James Riley Jr., Penfield Town Court, Alex Renzi, New York State Supreme Court. My name is Chris Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I have been in jail 6 times. The 6 times prosecutors not talked in court. What are the names of my prosecutors? District Attorney Sandra Doorley and employees of the District Attorney's Office, to include Deputy District Attorney Perry Douglas, Director of the Grand Jury Michelle Crowley, Director of the Local Courts Elizabeth Buckley. Who is it? How am I in jail when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court? It has an answer. Because of a freak prosecutor and a corrupt judge. Who's the freak prosecutor? Here's the date right here. This Monday, December 4th, 2023. I hope to send this to you shortly after midnight and before 9 p.m. on this December 4th. Send it to me. For 18 months, I've been demanding this. For 3 years, I've been demanding this. Information. Disclosure of the names of prosecutors that have delivered me to jail without uttering one single word in court. What are the names of these freaks and sociopaths? It is insane for a district attorney and public defender anywhere in the United States of America to refuse to disclose the name of a prosecutor assigned to a defendant in a taxpayer-financed public proceeding. And you could tell me this information today, public defender Julie Sianka and your $140,000 salary. And you can tell me this information today. Assistant Public Defender Mark Phillips, your $87,000 salary. And what is wrong with you? Because when I contact every single member of the Montgomery County Legislature, including President Sabrina Lamar, I'm going to tell every single member of the Montgomery County Legislature and the President that you need to be removed as the public defender. And this is why. What are the names of my prosecutors, Julie Sianka? What are you afraid of? You're afraid of the psychopaths in the District Attorney's Office. And while I'm on here, I hope a freak doesn't start banging on the door. Because if you hear banging on the door, that's a freak. Or if you hear somebody screaming, the window's right here. You hear somebody screaming right here in this park lot where I live on Park Avenue. There are freaks everywhere in this city. I lived at 111 C Street, Washington, D.C. When you look at the United States Capitol, that's to the right. There are no freaks and sociopaths like this in Washington, D.C. I lived at 80 State Street next to the New York State Capitol. There are no freaks and sociopaths anywhere. Nobody one time in the 10 years of my life, I worked for Majority Leader and Governor in Albany, Congressman Lamar Smith of Texas, Senator Olympia Snowe of Maine, and Washington, D.C. Did anybody ask me for money one time in 10 years? And when I lived next to the Transit Center, 1 Pleasant Street, on a sublease for 4 months, it would be 10 times a day. Because I'd go to this worldwide news. Sometimes the minute I'd step outside, there's the panhandler. I walk down Pleasant Street, the panhandler's outside asking me for money. So that's twice before I even get to the store, there's a panhandler asking me for money. I buy something in the store, I come out, panhandler asks me for money again. I walk down Pleasant Street, there again is the panhandler 4 times in less than 10 minutes. I'm asked for money in Rochester, New York. And Police Chief David Smith and Mayor Malik Evans don't do anything about these panhandlers. I have to look at the law because it is some type of a ticketable, I believe, offense. I don't think it's an offense where you can be arrested. The panhandle. And anybody that understands the great work of James Q. Wilson, the most prominent criminologist of the 20th century, can easily conclude that these panhandlers have been violent and will be violent. Because when you're asking for money and not getting money, you will reach the point where you will be violent. You will take money from people. This is basic policing. You don't understand either, Todd Baxter. You have no idea, you bald-headed fascist, about the basic elements of policing. That's why when your psychopaths attack me like Richard J. Seaman, it doesn't matter to you, Sheriff Todd Baxter, because you're in the embrace of violence. Just like when your psychopath like Shannon Meyer writes a warrant for my arrest for a parking lot I've walked through 4,000 times, it doesn't matter to you. Just like when Andrew Reale charges me with a Rasmus second, I'm sitting in the backseat of his vehicle after I'm attacked by Jermaine Lamar Bettman at a gym, it doesn't matter to you, Todd Baxter. It doesn't matter to you that $73,000 freak Michael Lulan and $85,000 freak Don Benedetto hit on the private property of my neighbor at midnight 2 years ago, ran at me, and Houlihan lied to a grand jury convened by Director of the Grand Jury, Michelle Crowley, and said I swung a hammer at him. You got freaks, you got perjurers, you got violent psychopaths at the sheriff's office, and it does not matter to you, you bald-headed stooge, Todd Baxter. So, before I'm 50, July 4, 2015, I'm 50. I got a speeding ticket in Albany, New York, dismissed when I went to court. Speeding ticket in Washington, D.C., dismissed when I went to court. After I'm 50, I've been in jail 6 times, and 6 times a process in trial court. The reason why you behave like psychopaths and sociopaths and freaks and degenerates at the sheriff's office and district attorney's office, the driving force reason why is all you know is Monroe County. All you know is the surrounding suburbs of Monroe County, the city of Rochester, and that's it. You have limited experience in life and human beings. That's a reason why you're psychopaths and freaks and sociopaths and degenerates and fanatics at that sheriff's office. Who are the prosecutors of silence? Freedom of Information Law. This Monday, December 4th, 2023. The freaking sociopath is right here, who I believe is Julie Hahn. Is it Julie Hahn or is it not Julie Hahn? Documentation for the case of Pittsburgh charged just before John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Pamphlet Town Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley? The freaking sociopath is right here. This is the paywall for the district attorney's office. Who is it? Second for well, December 4th. For his $28,000 bald-headed widow and you freaks and sociopaths, the district attorney's office will continue to send innocent citizens into this revolting star chamber for this $28,000 bald-headed widow just to pronounce someone guilty, 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 guilty. She has no idea the facts and circumstances of anything before her. The corruption of her. When I contact the Office of Court Administration about you $28,000 bald-headed widow, Paul C. Metzler, and the House Judiciary Committee and the Senate Judiciary Committee, that's exactly the language I'm going to use. You don't know anything. And you love the fact you don't know anything, you $28,000 bald-headed widow. This boy here was on your Facebook page. I'll look right at him. And I'm on your Facebook page telling you freaks and sociopaths from my Facebook page with the comments. So, what's his name? Regina Harper at the Public Defender's Office. Her exact words to me about this freaking psychopath. Boy, the prosecutor's not backing down. This is because of $73,000 Michael Julian and $85,000 Don Benedetto. When he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know that Julian and Benedetto hit on the private property of my neighbor and shaking up on my back porch. Yet Regina Harper says to me the prosecutor's not backing down because he wants to wallow in total ignorance. Perry Duckles, Mark Monahan, Michelle Crowley, Elizabeth Buckley. Elizabeth Buckley, redirect defense away from these freaks right here. And what's this boy's name? What's the name of this freaking sociopath before? Paul C. Metzler, who sent me to Livingston County Jail, Geneseo, when he didn't utter one word. Freedom of Information on documentation for the case of Pittsburgh charged yesterday before Paul C. Metzler in Pamphlet Town Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra? The freaking sociopath boy is right here. Is it on here Casey Jensen at 29,525? In all likelihood, no, because that's $29,000. Is it Samuel Soprano Jr. at 72,673? The Sopranos at the district attorney's office. We all behave just like gangsters. Is my prosecutor before Paul C. Metzler in Pamphlet Town Court, who delivered me to Livingston County Jail, Geneseo, New York. This gangster right here, Samuel Soprano Jr. at 72,673. I don't know, you know. So, Freedom of Information Law. Dated this December 4th. Alex Renzi is $210,000 fossil. Again, just like Paul C. Metzler and John P. Lomenzo Jr., he doesn't know anything. Which I said to the Exalted One in New York State Supreme Court. My exact words to him, Alex Renzi, is you don't know anything. So who elevated me to the Exalted One? You're finished and done. That's not true. I'm going to leave here in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, 7 days, 2 weeks, and the sheriff's office is going to stalk me to wherever I am, put the handcuffs on me, take me to the corrupt judge that you don't know is corrupt at the district attorney's office. I'll summarily be declared guilty again, where I have no due process. You smash me into a million little pieces, and then when I'm in jail, I'm not told how long I'll be in jail. Every time I'm in jail, I'm not told how long I'm in jail. I'm not told my sentence. Lunatic friends, you freaks and sociopaths. So, who is it before the Exalted One? You're finished and done. You understand me, freaks and sociopaths? Jamie Belliard, Pretrial Services Corporation. Pretrial Services Corporation. Is this a government bureaucracy, Jamie Belliard? As I'm on here now at 9 minutes. I hope you're watching me at 9 minutes, Jamie Belliard. Or is this a corporation that's not funded by the taxpayers? Jamie Belliard, why do I have to call you and check in with you when I don't have a trial scheduled? And she has treated me with decency. Except in this one email I got where she said to me, I haven't heard from you. I may have to contact the court. I'm looking at the insanity of this email from this Jamie Belliard. Pretrial Service Corporation. I don't have a trial scheduled. Alex Renzi, New York State Supreme Court. You disgusting freak. District Attorney Sandra Doorley. And Elizabeth Buckley, directive local courts, why do I have to contact Jamie Belliard? Tell me an answer. Because you can answer me. I don't pretend to be an attorney. I'll say that all the time. Because I really am in total confusion as to one, why this exists, and two, I have to contact it. I only have to guess why I have to contact. This is my guess about why I have to contact them. Because then he could just return me to jail. Pre-trial service corporation. One, I don't have a trial schedule. Two, it's just not a government agency. Because it's a corporation. Who is it? Before the exalted one. Documentation for the case of Christopher Childs, violence, Renzi, New York State Supreme Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley? This is the payroll for the district attorney's office. The freaking sociopath is right here. Is this the two females standing behind me? I don't know. Who is it? So, what's True Love? $107,000. You can tell me. Robert Catalano, $135,000, who makes more money than Todd Baxter. Elizabeth Buckley, $131,000, who makes $1,000 less than Todd Baxter. You can tell me. Elizabeth Buckley. C. Chichester, JUL4@gmail.com. Send me the names of my prosecutors, Elizabeth Buckley. 620 Park Avenue, PMB number 361, Rochester, New York, 14604. Send me the names of my prosecutors, Elizabeth Buckley. What's wrong with you? So, Scott Miles, 120. Charles Dominic, 107. Patrick Gallagher, 124. Rachel Clark, 124. Bianca D'Angelo, 114. Jennifer Kennedy, 111. Rachel Clark, R. Clark out Monroe County, I hope I have this right. The heroic prosecutor of Adriel Riley and Xavier Perry. This is heroism. They set Stephen Ammenhauser on fire on Lyle Avenue. That is the definition of evil. And when this type of violence is going on in the city of Rochester and throughout Monroe County, and Rachel Clark is prosecuting Xavier Perry and Adriel Riley, this is what a prosecutor must do in Monroe County, is prosecute real crime, which requires an argument in the exercise of a First Amendment right in court. Prosecutors never talked in court because the psychopaths and freaks at the sheriff's office had to lie on paper, present me in front of a psychopath and freak judge who just declares me guilty. What do you think about that happening to me? Rachel Clark? Are you married? Rachel Clark? Do you have a husband or a wife? What would you think, Rachel Clark, if your husband or your wife was in jail 6 times, and 6 times a prosecutor talked in court, and then you're demanding justice for yourself and your husband and your wife by disclosure of their names, and then the district attorney's office is total silence? This is anger that has to be managed and controlled because I don't have anything. Every single thing I own is gone because Anthony Spano, my 80-year-old landlord of Fairport, New York, locked the doors and locked me out when I was in Livingston County Jail without a court order. Everything is gone. My dress greens for 17 Cavalry, 101st Airborne Division are gone. My BA from the State University of New York at Stony Brook is gone. My father's dresser he gave me from when he was a child in Bushwick Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, is gone. All my clothes are gone. My Army Commendation Medal's gone. My Army Achievement Medal's gone. My Air Assault Badge is gone. I'm a 10-day graduate of the United States Army Air Assault School, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. In February 1986, when I was 20 years old, they pinned it on me after the 10th day, after the 5th rappel out of the helicopter. That's gone. Everything is gone because it's all man. And because you freaks and sociopaths prosecuting me in total silence. Do you understand? You tell me their names. So, Richard J. Seaman right here violently attacked me at the Penfield Public Library. I do not know. This is the last day I leave my residence at 26 Sanders Farm Drive because of $75,000 Richard J. Seaman and $28,000 bald-headed widow Paul C. Metzler. The criminal complaints are attached right here. Criminal complaints, 4 criminal complaints with this language. Richard J. Seaman of Monroe County Sheriff's Office walked into the Penfield Public Library in Penfield, New York, ran at Christopher Chichester, slammed his arm at the head of Chichester, causing him to fall backwards. They hit his head on the ceramic tile floor. 2, Nay Roger Layla Kumar Shah, 2033 Penfield Road, Penfield, York, 14526, falsely reported an incident of Christopher Chichester falling 26 Sanders from drivers walking through the parking lot next to his residence. 3, Antonio Spano of Fairport, New York, locked the front and back doors of his residence 26 Sanders from driving Penfield, New York without a court order. 4, Laura arrived Webster, New York, transported the personal belongings of Christopher Chichester 26 Sanders from driving Penfield, New York to a storage locker Webster, New York without a court order. These are crimes. Each individual will not be arrested or prosecuted. There is a 1-day in jail served for these crimes that destroy my life because you're incapable of identifying crime. And you can concoct crimes for innocent citizens. You hate human condition. 2 links here. Rejection 4-113-918-42 Perry Douglas, 112-5075 Mark Monahan. Unconstitutional. And Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, Judge Alice Renzi resign. It's unconstitutional because I believe it's unconstitutional for Paul C. Metzler to convene Penfield Town Court when the District Attorney's Office is not present in it. So you have everything. Those are the criminal complaints. Right here. I'm swearing that this happened. This is Richard J. Steven. I'm swearing that he violently attacked me, the pen for public library. It does not matter. Todd Baxter. He did this on July 21st, right here, notarized by Christopher Price, the Monroe branch of the Rochester Library. Nairaj and Layla Kumar shot this 50-year-old man lives with a 70-year-old mother. These two freaks going to the sheriff's office about a parking lot I've walked through 4,000 times without anybody else. That's the very definition of falsely reporting an incident. It's my signature right here, attached in PDF, that criminal complaint. Arrest these two freaks. You won't arrest them, Sheriff Todd Baxter, because you're a freak. Antonio Spano, this 80-year-old man, I have nothing on up because 80-year-old man locking the doors and locking me out when I'm in Livingston County Jail in Geneseo, where I don't know this happened. I slept in Harris Whalen Park in Pemberton, New York for 3 weeks because 80-year-old man locked the doors and locked me out without a court order, which is a crime. This is me saying that he committed this crime. This 80-year-old man, Antonio Spano, arrest him. You won't arrest him because you don't know what a crime is, number one. And number two, I'm the one writing criminal complaint. My ex-girlfriend, Laura Riley, who I've known for 35 years, took everything out into the storage locker. The storage locker has been cleaned out. My sister, Barbara Stematakis of Glenwood, Maryland, didn't pay for it. Lunatic French. When she's in my residence, my ex-girlfriend had to take down all my running jerseys and put them in a box. And then my ex-girlfriend, we're no longer in a relationship, is calling my sister, Barbara Stematakis of Glenwood, Maryland, who she's met, because we drove to Maryland. My ex-girlfriend, Laura Riley, is on the phone with my sister saying she needs to pay for a storage locker in Rochester, New York, when I don't know this is happening. And then my ex-girlfriend is taking things out of my residence that she doesn't own, like a bookcase. A bookcase I had in my residence for 8 years is now in the residence of Laura Riley of Webster, New York, because she's going berserk in my residence, taking everything into the storage locker, because her goal is to have this bookcase. This is the sick lunatic French. I'm being evicted without a court order. All my things are being taken out of my residence by an ex-girlfriend I no longer live with, that I had not spoken to for a year because she wants a bookcase. Arrest her, because that's a crime. She's committed multiple crimes. I'm going to have a separate criminal complaint to retrieve this bookcase because she doesn't own it. Laura, you watching me? At 17 minutes, where's the receipt? It's that simple. There is no receipt because you don't own this bookcase. These are not minor things that you may think are minor. All my 1,000 books are gone. Part of my 1,000 books were on this bookcase that she doesn't own. The lunatic French. You should understand the lunatic French at the sheriff's office and district attorney's office in Pemberton Court, because you reside comfortably right on the lunatic French. So that's me telling you, Laura Riley, Webster, New York, committed this crime. She's committed multiple crimes. Laura Riley. Just like this freak perjurer, Michael Houlihan, Michelle Crowley. You don't know he's a freak perjurer. Michelle Crowley, because you love psychopath cops that lie under oath. Michael Houlihan. Text for criminal complaint perjury, 73212 Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. The 73212 Michael C. Houlihan, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, walked on to private property across from residence, 26 Anderson Drive, Pemberton, New York, Christopher Chichester, that Houlihan ran to Chichester approximately 1 a.m. with $85,000 on Benedetto while the sheriff's office. That Chichester ran away from Houlihan and Benedetto, unaware of the identities. That Chichester grabbed a hammer alongside the residence next to his bike, used to fix the bike tire. That Chichester placed his foot on the first of 3 steps of the back porch. Houlihan grabbed his arm, the hammer, and Chichester's hand was forced upward. And Chichester ran across his back porch, slided glass door, and Chichester never stopped money. It is impossible to swing the hammer at 73312 Michael Houlihan. What do you not understand, Michelle Crowley? Why don't you call me to the grand jury? How'd you pick these 18 to 24 anonymous grand jurors, Michelle Crowley? Why don't you call me to the grand jury? I could sit in the witness box and you could ask me question after question after question about these two freaks. $73,000 Michael Houlihan, $85,000 Don Benedetto. Why didn't you? Because you're corrupt. That's why. I'm in my residence. They're outside. They can't come inside. They're going to wait outside my residence and stalk me over the wagons. 5 Monroe County Sheriff Office vehicles arrive. I'm at the pharmacy entrance. A Monroe County Sheriff Office employee ran at me, knocked me down my head, hit concrete pavement. They take me to policy message, declares me guilty. And in Livingston County Jail in Geneseo, it's that easy to be in jail. When one psychopath judge anywhere in New York, not only $28,000 policy messer in Pemberton Court, but in Montauk, New York, Buffalo, New York, in Plattsburgh, New York, in Geneseo, New York, in Albany, New York, anywhere in Fredonia, New York, can send you to jail. State legislature in Albany, Speaker Carl Heastie and Senate Majority Andrew Stewart Cousins need to pass legislation and Kathy Hochul sign into law to prevent these psychopath judges from smashing our life into a million little pieces. Who are my prosecutors? Rachel Clark, Perry Duckles, Michelle Crowley, Mark Monahan. Tell me who it is, because you know who it is. You know who also knows who it is? Is the public defender, Julie Sianka. This is corruption. You don't know you're corrupt, public defender, Julie Sianka. Right here, May 14th, I'm going to send this to Sabrina Moore and every member of the Monroe County Legislature. Julie Sianka, do you know I contacted you on this May 14th? This is when I was using a Proton Mail account, but you're up here. I'm going to look at your email. There's your email, juliesianka@monroecounty.gov. On here, I'll look at the emails for the district attorney's office here. Is Mark Monahan, Matthew Schwartz, James Mully, you're on here. You free Jermaine Benjamin. You love violence, James Mully. Paul C. Mess is on here. Mark Phillips is on here. Jamie Bellier, you're on here. So Perry Douglas is on here. Elizabeth Buckley's on here, along with the employees of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office Police Benevolent Association. May 14, 2023. Stupefied. The stupefied public defender of Monroe County, Julie Sianka, looked at this Freedom of Information law on May 14th, watched me. And he's also sending it back to me because she's refusing to open my registered mail return receipt. The stupefied public defender, $140,000 Julie Sianka, is refusing to disclose the names of my prosecutor's silence. May 14, 2023, Julie Sianka, public defender, 10 North Fitcher Street, Rochester, 14604. Comply with the 3 Freedom of Information law documents attached to PDF dated May 14th, 2023. Mail the names of my prosecutor's silence listed below in Rochester, New York, resign. How is this possibly defended? When the president of the Monroe County Legislature, any other members of the Monroe County Legislature, look right at this. Well, I'm telling you, Julie Sianka, to tell me the names of my prosecutor, you're refusing. And then when I send him copies of the envelopes that are coming back to me, how do you explain yourself? Corruption can't be explained, Julie Sianka. So that's May 14th. Julie Sianka, on that May 14th, did you read it? Because I attached documents in PDF. So, what I just read to you today, on this December 4th, here, disclosure names I prosecutor silence. John P. Mezzo Jr., Paul C. Mezzo, Alex Renzi. On this May 14th, we all copied on it, and this arrived at the district attorney's office, too. Sandra Doorley, for help, allowed it. It's a pathetic accumulation of health afflictions who loves being a pathetic, whining victim, allowed it. It says right here, May 14th. Documentation for the case for Christopher charges with John P. Mezzo Jr., Pelton Court. What is the name of the prosecutor? On that May 14th, you refused. You refused on this December 4th, you refused. May 14th, documentation for the case for Christopher Chichester before Paul C. Master and Pelton Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra? You refused, Julie Sianka. Just like you're going to refuse on this December 4th. Who will elevate me to the exalted one? Who did this to me? It's the prosecutor's side to the exalted one. May 14, 2023. You know the answer to this. Perry Douglas, Mark Monahan, Elizabeth Buckley, Michelle Crowley, Julie Sianka, Mark Phillips. Those 6 names. You know the answer. Documentation for the case for Christopher Chester, Alex Renzi, United States Supreme Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra? May 14th. Alex Renzi. December 4th. May 14th, December 4th. May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months later. This is why you're corrupt. 6 months ago, I'm telling you to disclose the names of my prosecutors. 18 months ago, I'm telling you to disclose the names of my prosecutors. 3 years ago, I'm telling you to disclose the names of my prosecutors. The sick lunatic friend. This is your name, Julie Sianka. I'm going to put that foil along with the May 14th one email to you in here. This is going to have the registered mail return receipt. This is your name, Julie Sianka. It's going to be it's going to be a 2-page document. I'm going to print this out with these foils. And then this envelope I'm holding in my hand is going to come back to me. What's going to say refused. Then I'm going to hold the same envelope up that's blank right now. And this is why she's corrupt. This is why she needs to be removed as the public defender. This will come back to me. And I'll say, I told you so. I told you so can be really morally bankrupt sometimes where it means nothing. Where you're just trying to humiliate someone or you're just using this language. And then I told you so is not morally bankrupt. It means exactly what it means. I told you so. I'm going to say I told you so. This freak, Julie Sianka, paid $140,000. She's going to send this back to me when it comes registered mail return receipt in her office. And when I'm sending these 2 registered mail return receipt, this is what I'm putting on it. Christopher Chichester, innocent man. So, I don't go by my full name. Only my mother and father call me by my full name where I don't correct them. My whole life. When I was in elementary school, I would tell my teachers, just call me Chris. When I was 7 years old. So, when I have to tell my mother and father on the phone, who I've not talked to in over 12 months, and I do not know if they're alive or dead, who now refuses to just have any type of acknowledgement that my civil and constitutional rights have been obliterated. I'm telling her about Jermaine Bettman attacking me at this gym. And I'm telling her about Andrew Reale charging me with harassment second sitting in the backseat of the vehicle. This is the first time I had to talk to my mother about being in jail. So it's Jermaine Bettman who violently attacks me, snaps me in the head back, and then we go out to the vehicle, and Andrew Reale tells Jermaine Bettman what to say to me. I'm sitting in the backseat of the vehicle, and Jermaine Bettman says these 7 words to me. I want to press charges against you. And with those 7 words, I'm charged with harassment second sitting in the backseat of the vehicle. Shannon Meyer concocted a crime. Me telling a man on his tractor, Steve Desmond, Barack O'Tree, lawn care, nobody owns the land next to my rents, walk back my rents. The fiction, the fantasy of this cop. I hate this cop freak, Shannon Meyer. $83,000 at the sheriff's office with such intensity. I could feel it on my chest, and I think I could be giving myself a heart attack by which the hatred I have for this Shannon Meyer. So my mother is saying to me on the phone, I'm telling her about these 2 ludicrous pieces of fiction because of $83,000 Shannon Meyer and $82,000 Andrew Reale. And my mother's saying to me over and over on the phone, Christopher, what do you mean you're charged with harassment second in the backseat of a police car? Over and over she's saying this. She's saying my name over and over, saying, you told a man on his tractor, Christopher, nobody owns the land next to your residence. You walk back your residence, 6 police officers there, Christopher. There's 6 of them there because this freak Shannon Meyer is telling the other members of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office she wants them to go with her when she's using this civilian Steve Desmond to concoct this out of thin air for me. It's criminal contempt second. This is why the prosecutor is silent, who I believe is Julie Hahn. Julie Hahn can't make an argument before John P. Clemenza Jr. that I committed criminal contempt second. Julie Hahn, whoever the prosecutor is, can't make an argument before John P. Clemenza Jr. I committed harassment second. Criminal contempt second, harassment second. No prosecutor in the United States of America can exercise a First Amendment right, make that argument in court that I committed those crimes. No prosecutor anywhere. That's why Clemenza just rules me guilty. And who is it? Is it Julie Hahn or is it not Julie Hahn? I'm hearing my full name on the phone. I'm as motivated as I could possibly be for justice from my mother. Do you hate the human condition at that district attorney's office, the sheriff's office? Do you hate human beings because you don't understand that there are ramifications and consequences to being in jail? When whoever it is will eventually have to explain to the people in that person's life why they were in jail. And this has destroyed my relationships. Every significant relationship I've had in my life has been destroyed because you freaks and sociopaths at the district attorney's office prosecute me in total silence, with the freaks and sociopaths at the sheriff's office are concocting crimes for me. I haven't talked to my mother and father in over a year. I haven't talked to my sister Barbara in over a year. My small family, I have not talked to anybody in my small family. I do not know if my mother and father are alive or dead. And that's because of you at the sheriff's office, the district attorney's office. You're morally bankrupt. You hate human beings. You're obsessed with power and control over human beings. This is November 20th. This is why she's corrupt. Sandra Doorley came to the district, the FOIL on November 20th with the criminal complaints in it. The 5 criminal complaints in it and are in here for Sandra Doorley. And the FOIL for the names of our prosecutors. So there's 2 things on here. Sandra Doorley and Todd Baxter is next. Disclosure names of our prosecutors arrived on November 20th. She's going to refuse to tell me the names of our prosecutors, even though if she opened it, she'll see that the FOIL says what I just read. The criminal complaints. Todd Baxter is not going to arrest his own Monroe County Sheriff's Office was because the blue wall silence is going to protect Richard J. Seidman, who violently attacked me by slamming his arm to the side of my head and then causing my head to hit the ceramic tile. The blue wall silence is going to protect psychopath perjurer Michael Lynn. So Todd Baxter sent my mail back to me. Monroe County Sheriff's Office employees, they can do whatever they want. They have to be really out in the open and be arrested by another law enforcement agency in order to either lose their jobs or be in jail, which is, I believe, what happened to Brandy Gadis, who robbed a gas station on Ladder Road. Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee Brandy Gadis robbed a gas station. Was he a disciplinary problem before he robbed that gas station, Todd Baxter? Do you have any type of disciplinary procedure, like is done in the Army, with the Article 15 under the Uniform Code of Military Justice? Do you have anything that's the equivalent of a courts-martial, Todd Baxter? Because I've been in one as the recorder, because I was a 75 Bravo at S1 at 17 Cavalry, 101st Airborne Division. I'd sit right in there for the courts-martial. I do the paperwork for the Article 15. This is why this bald-headed Benito Mussolini stooge and clone is a psychopath. He knows the UCMJ exists because he's a veteran. He knows the Article 15 exists because he's a veteran. And he does not take that experience from the military and use it in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office when his fellow psychopaths violate the civil and constitutional rights of innocent citizens. So, Todd Baxter, where's your money? The financial disclosure of the totally flat broke District Attorney Sandra Doorley a $210,000 salary. Seal. List any office, trustee, directorship, partnership, including honorary post. He says none. That's not the money, though. So here it is. List any interest. I'm not going to read every one of them because it's so long. Any interest, none. Principal address, nature of business activity, none. Source of gifts, none. Identify and briefly describe any reimbursements, none. Totally flat broke District Attorney Sandra Doorley. Identify parties to any contract, none. Parties to any terms of agreement, none. Nature amount of any income excessive to $1,000 from each source of income for taxable year, none. List below the type of market value of securities. This is the one I'm most interested in. I'll say this again with the full sentence here. List below the type of market value of securities held by the reporting individual for each issuing entity in excess of $1,000. That's stocks and bonds. It has to be. I don't pretend to be an actuary or anything. I think this is stocks and bonds. $210,000 salary. She's been at the district attorney's office since 1992, and she writes none. If it's not, it's not. I would not be surprised if that's a lie, if she's lying about her financial disclosure. And I'm going to write her in detail. And I want to contact Thomas B. DiNapoli of the New York State Controller's Office, the Control State of New York, and tell him about this bizarre none. It's bizarre. I'm not saying it's criminal. I'm not saying it's unethical. I'm saying it's bizarre. Zero money, 30 years employment. She now makes $210,000. Identify each interest in a trust or state, none. List below location, size, general nature, acquisition date, estimated market value, percentage of any ownership of real property, none. Any ownership in real property, none. Sandra Doorley, district attorney, who lives in Webster, New York, doesn't own a home. I'm going to say this again. List below location, size, general nature, acquisition date, estimated market value, percentage of ownership in any real property. She lives in Webster, New York. If she lives in a home, that's real property. None. Bizarre. I'm not saying it's corrupt. I'm not saying it's unethical. I'm not saying it's illegal. That's bizarre, which she writes none. Does she rent in Webster, New York? Her husband, Bill Loftus, does he own that house and then the wife lives there, Sandra Doorley, and there's no type of financial commingling of assets? I don't know. She knows. List below all notes, accounts receivable, none. List below all liabilities reporting individual in excess of $5,000. It goes on there with some financial language, none. None. So here's her signature right here. On July 28, 2022, there's a revolting sick freak who had to create what she calls a conviction integrity unit within the district attorney's office. I'm demanding information about that contraption too, that she's also refused to disclose to me. Do you exonerate citizens through this conviction integrity unit? You know Elizabeth Buckley, you know Mark Monahan, you know Perry Douglas, you know Michelle Crowley. None. None, 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 none. District Attorney Sandra Doorley, bizarre, her financial disclosure. At least she sent it to me. Where is it, you bald-headed Benito Mussolini psychopath, Todd Baxter? Send me your financial disclosure. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist when I say this next language. So I want to just state that before I say this next language. What are you hiding, Todd Baxter? It's got to be something you don't want people to know. I could be incorrect about that. But where is your financial disclosure? He sent me this email from his revolting shack at 130 South Plymouth Avenue where he said he needed an extension. He will lie about anything, this Todd Baxter. There's no extension. He's just refusing to send me his financial disclosure because I'll guess that he knows I'm attempting to humiliate him with that. So, over and over and over, I've been telling you freaks and sociopaths at district attorney's office, the sheriff's office, to tell me who it is. And you're refusing every single time to tell me who it is.
Perry Douglas, Deputy District Attorney, Monroe County District Attorney's Office. My name is Chris Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I have been in jail 6 times. And 6 times the prosecutor's not talked in court. I have been demanding from you and your corrupt, sick-addled boss, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, for 18 plus months, did you disclose the names of my prosecutor's assignments? And you and your boss have refused every single time. sits in jail one time when a prosecutor doesn't talk in court. That's happened to me 6 times. And this is the lunatic fringe Deputy District Attorney Perry Douglas. Monroe County Public Defender's Office of Julie Sianka, with her employees Mark Phillips and Regina Harper, also refused to disclose the names of my prosecutors of silence. I can see these individuals. Because you never forget it, Perry Douglas, when your life is smashed into a million little pieces by a fanatical, corrupt prosecutor. What do you think about what I'm saying 90 seconds into this YouTube?
I'll tell you what you think. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. When Antonino Spano evicted me, I had photographs I had taken because I've had an interest in photography since I was in high school, when I took a photography class. Well, the interest had grown to the point where I bought a camera at a photographer, Scott's Photo on East Avenue, and I was getting to the point where when I would go back to Penfield, that I wanted to start taking pictures, and I had this Nikon camera that I bought. And I was making plans to go to the public market to open up a little table and try to sell photography. My camera's all gone. I had to buy a new camera. All my photographs I started to take are gone. I just started playing with the camera and trying to figure it out. So I bought a new camera, and I got an application to be a vendor at the public market. But my cameras I already had are gone because of Antonino Spano. The pictures I tried to take and then things I was doing are gone because everything's gone. Everything I own is gone because this old man. Had to buy a new camera to be a vendor at the market because of him. He's evil, this old man. You're evil at the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office, and you don't know it. So, I'll prosecute the silence. You're refusing every single time to tell me the names of these freaks and sociopaths. Prosecuting told silence. Monroe County Sheriff's Office part-time rates. How many children in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office full-time employees you have on the payroll, Todd Baxter? These names right here, $29. Thomas A. Fitzak, is that a child of a Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee? Michael T. Corey, is that a child of a Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee? Joseph Pinto, is that a child of a Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee? Frank V. Chernetsky, is that a child of a Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee? The answer is yes. Because I believe Frank Chernetsky is the old man at the jail. On the list of length of service for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, I demand disclosure of salaries. I believe the answer is yes, I should say. 57-year employee of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is Frank Chernetsky. This is a part-time rate. Is this Frank Chernetsky, the 57-year employee, or is this Frank Chernetsky related to him? I don't know. 57 years. Is this 75-year-old Frank Chernetsky at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office paid $29 an hour? Or is this the grandson, the nephew of Frank Chernetsky, Todd Baxter? You're drenched in nepotism and patronage at the Sheriff's Office, which Thomas B. DiNapoli will uncover. I have no doubt about it. So, Alan L. Schutzel, $29. Joseph M. Sherman, $29. Robert J. Deff, $29. Emmanuel Mark Hannell III, $29. And 8 children in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office employees. I don't know. Jimmy Bellinger, why do I have to call Pretrial Service Corporation when I don't have a trial scheduled? Prosecutors of silence. I told you to tell me their names on this December 14th. Who is it? I told you to tell me their names. Julie Sianka on this May 14th. I told you to tell me. On this May 18th, just 4 days later after May 14th. 17 page 4. This is the grand jury that you refused to comply with, Michelle Crowley. This is why you could be disbarred, Michelle Crowley. Information from grand jury can be by District Attorney Sandra, 2 Todd Christopher Chacha as 1, the day, month, and year of the grand jury is convened. 2, the assigned District Attorney's employee address the grand jury. 3, the witness that testified to the grand jury. 4, the vote of the grand jury is transcript of the grand jury proceeding. Does a transcript not even exist directed to the grand jury, Michelle Crowley? Will Michael Lamb purchase himself or not? So, on this May 18th, again, why you're corrupt. Julie Sianka, this is 4 days after I told you, public defender Julie Sianka, and you assistant public defender Mark Phillips, tell me names on process. I'm telling you again here today on this 4th Documentation for the case of Christopher Chiser for John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Pembroke Court was named prosecutor. Documentation for the case of Christopher Chiser for Paul C. Lomenzo in Pembroke Court was named prosecutor. Documentation for the case of Christopher Chiser for Alex Renzi in State Supreme Court. What is the name of the prosecutor? And you're going to refuse to continue to disclose these names to me. December 4th, I told you to disclose the names of these prosecutors. May 18th, I told you to disclose the names of these prosecutors. May 14th, I told you to disclose the names of these prosecutors. I'm going to be back on here with that same language about the grand jury. Michelle Crowley. So Michelle Crowley and the district attorney's office, $131,416. $416. Why you paid that bizarre $416? Why you just not paid $131,000? I'm going to write the FOIL again in the next 7 days about forcing you to disclose to me the information about the grand jury that you just read. And you're going to refuse to comply with that, Michelle Crowley. And this is how I believe I have a case you could be disbarred. So, tell me the names of these freaks and sociopaths prosecuting me in total silence. Julie Sianka, August 1st. What are the names of my prosecutors? This is why you must be removed as public defender of Monroe County. Perry Douglas, what are the names of my prosecutors? This is why you need to be fired and disbarred as the Deputy District Attorney of Monroe County. Perry Douglas. My name is Christopher Chichester. I live in Rochester, New York. I have been in jail 6 times. 6 times a prosecutor has not talked in court. I have been an innocent man my whole life.